You can take your big salary player and go shove it up your. Like,
Welcome to amorephillyunion, the podcast where we've been reporting weekly on the Union for so long that we don't know what to do with ourselves now that we have to wait 3 weeks for the next game. We are your host. I'm Paul.
and I'm E.
And we are, unfortunately, once again, C-less.
We are C-less.
And I know we're all jonesing for another Union fix after that last game. But yeah, the Union win in Chicago, win the second game in the 3-game series, put out the fire, and now we're through to the semifinals. The first team from their side of the bracket to do so. Two teams from the Western Conference I've finished in two. But there's still a lot of series that are still open for their third game.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. It's the kid in class who gets the exam done in half the time, walks up, hands it in, walks out the door. Now it's gonna have to wait for everybody else. I hated that kid.
Let's just hope it's not that they sat down, opened the test booklet, realized they knew nothing, wrote, stay calm. Your Singapore contact has been killed, and put that on their test book and turned it in. No. No. The Union looked really good in this in this win. Dominated Chicago, got up early within the first 35 minutes or so, 3-0, and then just kind of choked out the game.
Yeah, this game was the game that I was hoping the first game was going to be, but the fact that it happened in Chicago kind of more than makes up for not doing it in the first game at home, if that makes sense.
I absolutely agree. I was hoping to see this sort of dominating win from the Union, but I gotta say, I was surprised by the lineup that they rolled out. It was very similar to the first game lineup with Blake in net, Harriel, Glesnes, Bacania, and Wagner on defense. You got your buddy Kops there, Lukic and Jean-Jacques there at center defensive midfield. And it was Olaski and Westfield in the 10s, and then Baribo and Damiani up top. So that starting of Westfield in midfield kind of surprised me.
As opposed to like Indy or...
that Indy wasn't there, or one of the other midfielders. Or even if you're going to put Westfield and Harriel on the field so far, up until this part of the season, we always saw Westfield on defense and Harriel in the midfield.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they do work well together. Actually, now that as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, we often did see a nice Harriel and Westfield pairing,
And Carnell kind of explains it in his post game press conference where he talks about they actually wanted Westfield in there to help clog up the midfield and slow down some of Chicago's transitional attack, take away some of the space from Bamba that he was playing in the first game. And, it obviously worked, 3-0. Finish and just dominating performance in a lot of ways throughout the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, while we're on talking about the lineups, it is worth mentioning that our Harry Potter fantasy shop owners of Kuipers and Zinkernagel were starting in this game too.
They were, and Gutierrez did as well.
Yeah,
he didn't start the first game.
But it was good to see Zinkernagel in there, just because he literally was pulled out of the lineup before the start of the first game due to some sort of
strain or
something. Yeah, so it's nice that
I think it was also one of those situations where he's a big player for the team. There's no way he's going to sit out what could possibly be their final game of the season.
Yeah.
But talking injuries, they did have one, a big one that was very
critical.
important.
Uh,
Because what was their keeper's name?
um,
I'm blanking now. I mean, basically, their goalkeeper ended up
yeah,
getting injured during training in the week, and they had to
hmm
put their backup Gall in goal
yeah,
for this game, and that turned out to be a crucial change. You know, I hate to get too down on a goalkeeper,
yeah,
but two of these goals directly come off of him playing the ball with his feet, and yeah,
yeah,
it didn't work out well for him, and it was really rough.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Fire did make some changes to their lineup. They may have unfortunately swap out their goalkeeper, and let's talk about this first goal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, to be fair, so this was an eighth minute, right? So really early in the game.
Seriously early.
Yeah, like almost like alarmingly early. There's the
Like to
old,
the point where the guys were still running solely on adrenaline and all over the field
yeah,
everywhere.
and there's just the adage of, you can score too soon in a game, and
But once
uh,
again, in takeoffs in this situation,
yeah, it was definitely during takeoff time, right at the edge of takeoff time, and there were slight shades, and I say this with respect to all parties involved, and I say this with a sense of sympathy and empathy. There were shades of Chris Seitz in this goal.
yeah, a little
Um,
bit.
that was years ago, and it was Jaime Moreno who caught
Yep.
him. Yeah, but
Wait,
similar. I
not was it Moreno or a Skidarian? I think you're right. I think it was Moreno.
think it was Moreno, and yeah. So anyway, if you haven't seen this, just cue up the highlights. But essentially, the ball gets passed back to
Yep.
Gall,
Chicago's
and
trying to build out from the back through the goalkeeper.
yeah, and Bariba just reads the ball and just runs to him to press. And I mean, I gotta say, like, this would not have happened if it was like a either starter keeper or Blake. Like, but whatever he did, he just I don't know if he. And as the ball came to him, he kind of tapped it in front of him so he could then run
Little too
forward.
much of it, little too heavy of a touch.
Exactly. And Bariba just got there, just
Just beat him to the second touch.
yeah, picked his pocket, and Gall goes down trying to lunge for the ball, and
Now, Baribo did make a very nice play because this
he
was
did.
a one touch to steal the ball, and literally his
Yep,
second touch was the shot.
yep. And it was yeah, Baribo, he executed it very well. And I just remember when I saw the goal before like the announcers or anyone said anything, I just remember watching this screen just going like, wait, what just happened? Like some weird thing happened. Like
Hmm.
obviously the play had stopped. This was just some weird thing where the ball just happened to deflect. And it's like, no, wait,
Hmm.
this is an actual goal. Oh my gosh! Let me see this replay. This is insane. Um,
Yeah, no, it was really interesting because, like I was saying, like it was clear the players still had their pregame adrenaline running. Aribo and Damiani were all over the Chicago defense, but it was a little disjointed, a little uncoordinated. And then as soon as Gall made that slightly too
oh
heavy touch, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be bad." And
yeah,
even in that sort of a situation, you don't really expect a goal. You expect a heavy touch.
yeah,
Maybe the attacker gets a ball, foot to the ball, but then a defender would clean it up. And Baribo just cleanly finishes that. I mean, that was a tough finish for a sharp angle,
yeah,
running against the play, and just a real nice finish for that first and ultimately game-winning goal.
yeah. It was the game winner. Um,
Yeah, that was the eighth minute.
yeah, and I caught on the replay too. Um, I mean, man, as I was thrilled that we got this goal. Opportunistic, other adjectives that fit, of course, but again, I just had just echoes of when it happened to us when Chris Seitz was in it. But I appreciated that Jack Elliott came over to Gall's.
Hmm.
Gall's just lying
Yep.
there, like face first in the grass, like, oh my gosh. And he kind of came over and like you see him kind of pat him on the back, like,
Shake it off.
and even like Higginbottom on the announcement is, saying it's like, kind of like saying probably something to the extent that Jack is saying right now, and that is like, okay, don't worry about it. It's early in the game. We still got plenty of game left, so don't
Right.
let this uh don't let this deflate your your confidence. Well, uh that was well, it would get worse
It
for
would.
Chicago.
Now, the second goal, just spoiling it, another Kai tie.
It was a
Hadn't
guy tie,
seen this in
baby.
a while. It was certainly good to
Drink,
see.
gling.
Drink.
Yeah,
Or if you're playing the more Philly Union bingo, go ahead and put that marker down.
yeah.
Um,
We got some replacements quotes coming up there, so pace yourself.
what was the timing on this second one?
16th minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Double the
So,
score and double the time.
so the Union cycle the ball that comes out left. Kai's upfield, on one of his roaming, rampaging attacks down that left-hand side, gets the ball and gets, actually quite a bit of space to make this cross.
Yeah, they gave him space.
And you give him that much space, he's going to put it on that 6 to 8 yard spacing out there. So it's far enough out that the keeper doesn't feel comfortable coming out to punch it away,
Yep.
but it's close enough that any sort of contact is a dangerous opportunity.
Absolutely.
And Ty just floated up out of the crowd.
Yeah. It was like, training ground stuff.
Yeah. He look it just almost like a jack in the box. You just see this one little, Union player's head come up out of the crowd,
Yeah.
and he just gets a glancing header and gets the ball far side. And
Yeah.
exactly, training ground performance.
Yeah.
Just so well done.
It was Baribo's goal to miss at that point because Kai put it right where it needed to be. He got there mostly unobstructed. It was right there on a platter. Basically, he had to put it in. It would have been, not just like, oh, it went wide. It would have been a mistake if he didn't put it in.
Yeah. And in this one, I mean, yes, the keeper, you could argue, should have made some sort of an attempt on this shot, but they've done this, 8 to a dozen times all season. Like, this is not an unusual experience for Kai and Ty to make this sort of a connection. And yeah, it was just a well struck goal.
I don't know about you, but I don't know if this is an actual real thing or if it's like my brain like just doing this like revisionist history. But like I feel like when Kai got the ball again, he's going out left, and he just sends this cross in. I could just feel like watching that ball go into the 6-yard box for that matter. It really felt like it was going to go in, and so it goes in, and as the camera is getting ready to like zoom in towards the, where Baribo is, you can still catch Kai. I don't know if there were Union fans in the crowd or he was pushing back against Chicago fans, but you see him just turn to the sideline and does like that like kind of Cristiano Ronaldo like flex squat and like and yell thing like and it was pretty awesome. I mean,
like almost as if he had turned to the sideline right before that and say, "Hey, you want to see a goal?"
Trevor,
which, for those who don't remember, he did earlier
that?
This season. I
off a
think it
corner.
might have actually been against Chicago, but I'm not
God.
sure.
That's just fantastic. Yeah, I remember that lining up that corner shot,
Mm-hmm.
corner kick. You want to see a goal?
That was so well struck. Kai was dangerous all game, and it was great to see the connection, and the two of them get to celebrate. Of course, 2-0 is, as we have alluded to or downright said throughout the season.
I think it's official soccer canon that it
is the most dangerous lead in the game.
Yeah,
because that was in the 35th minute or 16th minute that they got the second goal. And I believe it was the 32nd minute that there was a penalty kick.
On my notes, I had 29th was the actual foul. So probably by the time they got everything settled, it was probably close to the 32nd.
So the Chicago gets a chance to get a penalty called in the Union box on a corner kick. I think it was Elliott who got pulled down by Lukic, which I
There's
do think
Lukic.
it's kind of a mismatch of players because I think Jack Elliott's reportedly 6 foot 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
And while Lukic is not short, I don't know that he's ready to jump high enough to stop Jack from getting to the ball.
Yeah.
And so the referee gives a penalty kick and
Yeah.
Gutierrez comes to take it. And I don't know. I don't know what Gutierrez did in this penalty shootout the week before, but the shot he took was slow
Yep.
for a professional. Again, all of this is just comparison to other MLS
Sure.
games that we have
Yep.
seen, and like Blake just read it the whole way down
Yep.
to his left and just cleanly smothers this
Yep.
shot.
Yeah. Um, it was. I mean, the announcers mentioned it was a weak PK. And again, just to echo your sentiment, yes, this is just by comparison to other, you know, um, PK
Professional
takers. Yeah,
PKs.
exactly. Right. You know, I know I would not be able to do it half as well, but yeah, it's funny because Christy and I actually got into a discussion about what makes for a weak PK. It's like, you know, it's basically a good PK, no matter which way the goalkeeper just picks, even if it is the right direction, a good PK still goes in. It's either just kissing the outermost edge of the actual goal, that upper right corner where you got to be so precise to get it up there. Otherwise, you're going to just totally sky it or go wide, right? So even if the goalkeeper guesses right, chances are they're still not going to stop it. And it's just like a bad PK is like, as long as the goalkeeper guesses it's in the right direction roughly and it can be stopped after that point, it's like, yeah, that makes a bad PK.
But
And
credit to Blake, two things. One, he was patient. He
uh-huh.
actually didn't seem to move
Yep.
like he didn't dive to one side or the other before the ball was struck.
Yeah.
And then since it came with relatively low velocity,
Yep.
he had time to get low and make the stop and
Yeah.
smother it.
Just did
He
that
did
ball.
do. I'm sure that he and Phil Wedden, the goalkeeper coach, spent time reviewing all of the likely fire or penalty kick takers. And so
Hmm.
he had probably a pretty good idea on where
Yeah.
Gutierrez was likely to go or
Yep.
how he was likely to approach it. And that study seemed to definitely pay off as he made this look easy to stop this
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the same thing too. Just how he just stopped it and just trapped the ball. It's like, okay, we're done. There's nothing more to do here. And it's
And
like,
as Bradley said in the post game, like if they had scored that and suddenly it was 2-0,
yep.
this game is a game of momentum.
Yeah.
And the Union scored 2 goals within 8 minutes in this game, much like they did within 5 minutes in the first game. And if things go badly, the Fire certainly could have gotten goals back, but it was almost like by the Union stopping this goal, they kind of cemented that the momentum was with them,
Yeah.
and they just took control of this game and
Yeah.
kind of put it away with this third goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was fearing, the inability to defend that 2-0 lead and just with you know, an, a solid defense by Blake, I'm like, all right. And then yeah, this third goal just really kind of cemented the game, at least the momentum of it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and again, things would just
this
get worse for
goalkeeper,
Kyle.
I mean, that first goal was just rough to give that one away. The second goal, you could argue one way or the other, but in all
Yeah,
honesty, I don't feel too bad that he gave that one up.
yeah,
But once again, this third goal, they're trying to play out of the back. Olaski has, I don't know where the adrenaline's coming from, or, they just didn't understand how fast he was. And the goalkeeper, this time he actually did get a foot to it.
yeah,
He was clearing the ball, and
yeah,
Olaski just gets up, puts his body in the way. And so the goalkeeper's out of his net to the right side of the goal from the goalkeeper. And Olaski just leaps in the air in front of him. Ball goes off of Olaski, falls to Damiani in the middle of the box,
yeah.
and I think it was his first touch. I don't think it was his
It
second.
was off the volley. The ball didn't touch the ground.
And there's no defender there. The
Yeah.
goalkeeper clearly can't get back to make any sort of a save, and Damiani just powers it in.
Yeah. I mean that finish by Damiani, it is, even though you have a wide open net, that was not an easy finish. That was not an easy shot because
No.
he got it on the volley. The ball was coming down and he just opened up his stance to just keep it, relatively level and straight into the net. And that takes talent. That was an excellent goal by Damiani.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
fortunate. He was in a good spot to make the play. None of the defenders could stop him, and yeah, like you said, very clean technique
you
to
know,
to finish this goal.
um, Yeah, we Christy and I actually zaprudered that goal because yeah, we're like, because Christy was even saying like what is going on with this keeper that he's making these mistakes. And to be fair, I do agree with I don't know if it was Danny Higginbottom said it or one of the other announcer, but Jack Elliott passed the ball kind of across the back and across the 6 yard
Back
box
and to the
there.
right,
Yeah,
back and to the right.
we can see this back pass going back and to the right. Um, but so Gall was chasing it, but again, he let the ball run a little bit too far
Mm-hmm.
away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure, Lord knows he's been playing this over in his head for the
Yeah.
past several days. But again, it was a bad judgment on his part, just that little bit of space. And so when we replayed this, you could see Alaski was pressuring up, but you could see
Right.
he was still staying with the defenders, and he started swinging out to the left wing, right? Because that's kind of his role. But you see him watching the keeper running for the ball, and then you see the exact moment where he's like, "No way, I'm going to turn and pressure this guy. Like I think I can."
Right.
That at least get some pressure on the goalkeeper. And you could clearly see that thought, and it manifests itself on the field, and he just turns to the keeper. And yeah, I don't know if it was from a TV show or whatever, but I think it was a Kids in the Hall sketch, and which again,
The
Google,
Eradicator.
yeah,
No.
it was some guy. I think it was the one guy who would always pick a fight at a bar and go out in the back alley and get a fight and just get his clock clean. And this one, he just gets punched. He goes down. He gets up. Like, all right, let's keep fighting. Gets punched. He goes down. At one point, like the crowd's all around. And at first, at the beginning of the fight, they're all like, "Yeah, fight, fight, fight." And by the fourth or fifth time he's going
Yep.
down, his face is just turning into like ground beef. And everyone's like, "Please, just stay down, just stay down." And yeah, with this point, it's like, oh, that's another other thing. They're pleading with the other guy, like, please stop, you're killing him. I just felt like that with Gall, just like, oh man, just he's getting killed out
Yeah, you
there.
really felt bad for that keeper.
Yeah. Um, I mean, there was a little bit of kind of almost poetic retribution in the second half, again during takeoff time. Um,
Yep.
the ball goes back to Blake. Blake comes out to clear it, but Gutierrez makes the run in,
Mm-hmm.
basically pulls an Olaski, jumps up in front of Blake as Blake's trying to kick the ball, ricochets off of Gutierrez and goes into net. And I was like, man, these MLS writers are just fantastic. They're coming up with this. Um, but it was ruled offside, or what was the? No, it was a handball. It was a handball. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't count. But I saw the replay. Oh, man, I mean, they do. Well, I guess it wasn't a goal, so I don't know if it was reviewed. But
I'm sure it was reviewed.
his
All goals
his
are reviewed.
I don't know. I felt like his arm was still kind of close to the torso. I don't think his arm was out in I don't know
It's
what's the
that whole
phrase.
thing about making yourself bigger and whether it's a natural position or not. And,
Exactly.
there probably wasn't enough to overturn the referee's
Yeah.
ruling on the field because of that. Yeah, the second half that the Union definitely were looking to smother this game
Hmm.
and just control it. They did end up with a little more possession in the second half. They
Yep.
were moving it. They were still aggressive. One of the best ways to win a game is keep possession in the other team's half.
Yeah.
Can't score from over. Most teams can't score from over half field. So if the ball's upfield the rest of the game, then things are good for the Union. But there were opportunities, like you said, with that one. And even way late in the game, there was that shot from just outside the box that
Yep.
Blake made that real nice
Beautiful
diving
save.
to his right save. Yeah,
Beautiful.
just just one of those textbook, almost come to be expected saves by Dre.
I think I literally said that as we were watching the game. I was like, boom, saves by Dre. Yeah. Um,
We are so spoiled by having a goalkeeper like him.
we are incredibly spoiled. 100%. I was even thinking, man, when the day comes, where somebody else steps between the posts, yeah, I mean, first of all, absolutely insane shoes to fill, but also it's like we're gonna realize how spoiled we were. Um, yeah, Alaski too. He had a really good shot
He
there.
did.
It was around the 60th something minute. I thought for a brief moment I thought it might go in. Again, that guy is just cruising for goals. I mean, they're I know we busted on Damian a lot, but at least with Olaski, you can see there's attempts and they're just so close. And there's just, you know, Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park explaining chaos theory would use Olaski as this example. Like if that butterfly just flapped its wings one way, that shot actually would have gone in, you know?
Right.
He's so
Right.
close. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was
Now it was interesting because Olaski did get subbed out in the 68th minute. Vasilev came in.
mm-hmm.
At that point it was still, I'm sure like probably that was a planned sub. I'm sure I feel like Carnell probably told Olaski, go ahead and run hard for the next 20 so minutes and we'll sub you out and get Vasilev
Yep.
some chance to run.
Yep. Especially when you're up by 3 goals, you can start letting some guys come off to cool their jets a little bit.
But it was interesting because they only made three substitutes in this game. So they made the Vasilev sub in the 68th minute, and then they did a double sub for Baribo and Damiani to come off in the 85th minute for Bedoya and Donovan. So, and that kind of at that point they had locked it down. Uh, it was a physical game. There were
Yeah.
definitely some hard challenges.
Yeah. It was getting a little chippy out there.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like that Bedoya Donovan sub there at the end was to kind of just ice the cake and put it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of just lock this game up. Um yeah, one thing that was a little interesting and unfortunate, and I don't know if there was some trick they were doing with the audio because I couldn't catch anything, but I guess apparently the Chicago fans were starting to get
Yes.
a little
Well, it
out
was
of
the YSA
hand.
chant,
Okay.
they were using the Spanish version, the
Yeah.
PUTO chant.
Yeah.
And yeah, so go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed at one point the ref kind of stopped the game to kind of, I don't know, give a warning to, can you give a yellow card to an entire section of people? I don't know,
Yeah,
but
well, they can, but
yeah.
he went and talked to Berhalter
Yeah.
to tell the coach you got to get your fans in
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable behavior, and we will call the game if necessary.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I think they actually stopped it twice because I remember at one point Burhalter went over there. And I remember Elliot also going over there and
Yeah,
just kind of like, just you can see the gestures, like kind of like pleading with the fans, like, guys, please stop this. Right. Um,
it's kind of
which,
a shame that we have to tell people not to be, behave yourself, be rowdy, be excited, be
yeah.
into the game.
Yeah.
But that's not necessary. And,
Yeah.
we've had this conversation before on this
Yeah.
podcast. I mean, personally, I just feel like it's lazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Right.
be more creative.
Right. Because we talked about that one guy sitting like several rows
Yes.
behind us at the beginning of the game. He's just spouting all this vitriol and diatribes at the ref. And like, there were like families, there were kids, and
Yeah, with all sorts of four-letter words in it.
exactly. And credit to two people. One, someone said something to this guy. So I appreciate that. Right. Because, like, look, say something. Right. Because this is just not acceptable behavior. But two, credit to the guy himself. because
Right.
he did not get his nose out of joint.
He listened.
He didn't dial it up. He actually listened and just redirected that energy into, like you said, creative. And man, the guy was hysterical because like
Yes,
instead
he
of throwing
was.
out profanities, he's just like doing all like ref, like just screaming like a maniac, but going like, I politely disagree with the call you just rendered upon this field, like stuff like that. And the whole section, like we were just cracking up now. I was like, kudos to you, dude. Like
Yep.
you are a bigger man for doing that. Just to be like,
And
all
it just
right,
proves that if you do it right, if you
yeah,
get creative, you don't have to use foul language.
yeah,
You can I
yeah,
don't even know why they bother chanting it after the goalkeeper has already made the play. It's
yeah,
already there. Like
yeah.
if you're going to do something, do it before, be creative. Um I, it's just lazy, and
It,
I wish that people would stop it. It's
yeah,
just too. Maybe the problem is it's too easy, so
yeah,
everybody gets into it.
yeah.
I
Kind
mean,
of
in all honesty, I think your socks have holes
a.
is more creative than what they end up with.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's low hanging fruit, I guess. I don't know. But I do agree. I think it's
Lowest common denominator.
yeah, right. I guess, which is funny because I just pulled up my little note app here on my phone. Scoops and I, we were down at Longwood Gardens some point over the summer, and they had signs up for plants or like
Mhm.
it's a garden, right? And there were a couple that were labeled, and we're like, oh my gosh, these are like Shakespearean sounding insults, and I wrote them down. So like Scoops and I would throw them back and forth at each other like throughout the day, like to try to just press buttons. But the one was, uh, we had like something would happen and be like, "Ah, you mealy cup sage," was one, and the other one was, and this is the best one, you herbaceous peony. It's like, man, you sound like Shakespearean insults. So yeah, whatever the equivalent for soccer chants. I always appreciate, when
So
folks
if
go
any
that.
of the capos from the Sons of Ben are listening, let's brainstorm some ideas. Let's get something better than YSA going, and let's share it around the stadium so
Yeah,
that we don't get the referees, stopping games or
yeah,
threatening cards in future games. It just was unnecessary.
yeah, exactly. And
A little-
if the Sons of Ben work in herbaceous peony, I will buy some amorephillyunion swag for a whole bunch of people. So I don't know, some sweatshirts, some mugs. Yeah, Scoops will dig it.
Yes, definitely. So after the Blake save and the late game subs, the Union choked out the rest of the game. It
Yeah,
wasn't a whole lot of stoppage time. I think it was 2 minutes in the second half,
yeah,
even with the slowdown from the fans.
yeah,
And yeah, credit to Chicago. They made it a game. They made it interesting,
yeah,
especially in Philly.
yeah,
But the Union just they showed why they are the Supporters Shield winner and got the two
yep,
wins, and now get three
yep,
weeks off until
yep,
they're going to face, play in the semifinals on either the 22nd or the 23rd of November.
yep. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like that 3-0 win was like, yep, this is the team the Union can be. This is why they're supporter shield. Um, kudos to Chicago, right? They kind of came in strong at the end of the season. They were able to get into that playoff bracket and win the wild card, So, it always hurts to get knocked out of the playoffs, but like when you just claw yourself in, you feel like, all right, there's nowhere to go but up. But
Right.
unfortunately, um, the Union were like, hold my supporter shield real quick while we run up 3 goals. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Hang
so
on a second. Let me just, let's just remind you why we're number one here.
yeah. Um, so now kind of the question I've been asking myself, and we talked about this a little bit last week, was, well, first of all, I don't know when this next game is going to be. I guess it's in 2025 at some point. But it's about 3 weeks. All
Ugh.
right. Is this going to be a curse, right? Like the fact that now
Yep.
we have all this time off, right? We can start coming out of rhythm, start coming out of form, or maybe people get fully healed. We're fully fit. We're fully like, firing on all cylinders when I don't know. I
that
know if it
is the
was me,
question.
I would be out of luck in 3 weeks. But
Well, I mean, it is an international window, so there are going to be some players going
true,
off to play
that's true. That's
for
true.
their teams. Bariba will be going off for Israel. Blake will be going off for Jamaica. Expect Danley to go off for Haiti.
Haiti, yeah,
I wonder if Bueno will go off for Venezuela. There are going to be some players moving off to play for their national teams during this window. There's also rumors that the Union are going to host some friendlies,
oh,
whether that's to, invite some, Union 2 to come play against them or some college teams
hmm,
or maybe even an MLS team to come in and play. I don't know. Nobody's really sure how Carnell's going to keep them sharp, but
yeah.
it is a long layoff.
That's a cool idea. I never thought about like just bringing another MLS team. I mean, like, DC United's not doing anything. Just hop on 95, come up. Let's do a little scrimmaging,
New York Red Bull, come on down, or Reds,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
yeah, or
Um,
get a group of them together to come play. I don't know.
yeah. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be kind of fun if it's just like a little friendly between DC United and Philly. But like, I think I'd try to come down and see that because it's like watching a pickup game, lower
hmm.
pressure. People are just gonna have fun. Um,
Well, I mean, at the same point, that, Carnell is going to want to make sure that the intensity is high enough that
true,
they're
true,
getting
true,
quality
true.
exposure in
Yeah,
those games. So
yeah,
hopefully, it's not just a kick around.
yeah. No, I do agree, but still, the pressure will be dialed back. So it's always fun when players are a little bit relaxed to
Yeah,
see them play. You're going to try stuff.
they may not go in with the crunching tackles in those games.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so they're playing the winner of Charlotte, New York. Interestingly enough, both of the Charlotte, New York games were won by the visiting team.
Yeah,
So now that it returns to Charlotte, his question is Charlotte going to break that pattern?
yeah,
Is New York City going to continue it? Either way, whoever wins is coming to play in Chester in a one-off on the
yep,
22nd or 23rd. The other side of the bracket is totally unsettled as Columbus is playing Cincinnati and Miami is playing. Hang on, who was it? Miami's playing Nashville.
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 Yeah,
Yeah, so Miami hosts Nashville in their series. Cincinnati hosts Columbus in theirs. Yeah, so it's kind of wide open rest there on the East as the Union are the only team through in two. The West, it's still San Diego, Portland are going into their third game. Minnesota and Seattle are going into their third game. But interestingly, LAFC did dispatch Austin in two, and Vancouver defeated Dallas in two. I mean,
yeah,
it's not surprising that those two teams won. They're the 2 and the 3 seeds, so you
yep,
expect them to move on.
yep,
So that side of the bracket is settled.
yeah.
So
Uh,
lot of things to be decided, to see which are the 4 teams that are the 8 teams that make it through to the semifinals or whatever we're
yeah,
at. I guess it's 4 teams from each conference.
yeah. So sitting here right now, if you could pick, who would you want to make it through in the New York Charlotte lineup? Do you want to see them? Who do you want to see win that will face?
Hmm. I'm not afraid of either of them.
Yeah.
And I know Charlotte beat the Union in at decision day, which
Hmm.
kind of makes me want to face Charlotte and get revenge for that.
Yeah.
Um, Although beating a New York team is always fun, but I think I'd probably go with Charlotte. I think Charlotte is going to win, and I am okay with the Union facing Charlotte
Yeah.
in Philly.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would go with Charlotte just even though they're ranked higher than New York City. Right. I think they're fourth. They
Yeah,
finished fourth.
yeah, it's a 4-5.
Um, I don't know. I feel like New York City, like I feel like we have the better of that. I don't want to say rivalry, but that between our record, I think
Yep.
we have a winning record against New York City. Um, but I feel like when it comes to playoffs, I feel like they've kind of knocked us out in the past. Um,
It's an interesting question. I don't know.
I
I'm not
feel like it
sure
was
what
like
our
a
record is in
like
playoffs versus elsewhere.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't last year because we didn't make the playoffs last year, but um, feel like maybe it was the year before. Did they knock us out? I forget, but um,
Were they the ones that knocked us out in the COVID game?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I think
I
that might have been them.
yeah, but I don't. I feel like maybe it's just you know, it's my insecurity speaking as a Philly fan when we go up against a New York team. You know, even though we are the better team, I just feel like for some reason New York has some special magic that allows them to just beat Philly when it comes down to a clutch game. So, like, I'll take Charlotte. Although Charlotte has a couple players on their team that
They
are
do.
just always so dangerous against us. Zaha's one of them, right?
Yep.
And I can forget the other guy's name. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'll take Charlotte for now
So there
until
are those games will be happening this weekend, November 7th, November 8th. And it looks like there's one game on the 9th as well. The
okay.
San Diego Portland game is playing on Sunday the
All right.
9th. So it looks like Friday we've got the Charlotte New York game. Saturday has the three of the matchups, and then Sunday has the Portland San Diego matchup.
Okay.
So by the end of the weekend, we'll know who's through, and I assume at that point they'll know who's playing on what day, and it's either the 22nd or the 23rd
For the
for the
semifinals.
conference semifinals, which
Yeah.
and then a week later will be the conference finals, and then MLS Cup will be on December 6th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go Union.
Yeah. It's we've heard the guys say, right, we're just focusing on the next game. So that's all. Let's just focus on the next one. I'm saying that for myself because I don't want to get too far ahead or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of other Union news this week, some big stuff.
Hmm.
As Glesnes and Wagner both earned the MLS, or they were both named to MLS Best 11 for the year.
Yeah.
So very nice, nice. I liked the video of the announcement where they had the
Yeah.
Wagner's and Glesnes's families let them know that they had won the spots,
Yeah.
and getting to see those three kids. Like I don't
They're
remember
cute
exactly how you
kids.
phrased it, but man, Glesnes's kids are just downright adorable.
They're just, yeah, I think I said totes adorbs. Uh, yeah. Those little glasses and all. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
But
But sweet.
but even in the video, right, when the Glesnes and Wagner are kind of like, because they're with the whole team, right? Because they kind of, I guess they faked them where they had the whole team with the
Hmm.
supporter shield, like they were doing a photo shoot, and then I guess they played this video of their respective families telling them that they got, best 11 and all that. But both Glesnes and Wagner were like, you know,
Yep.
the whole like we're only here because we have this team, it's team effort, blah blah blah, and this is all great, but we're just focusing on the next game. Just next game, it's
Yeah,
next
there's
game.
still work to be done, I
There you
think
go.
is what
That's what it
Glesnes
was.
said.
Exactly. There's still work to be done. So, um, yeah, awesome.
But, but hey, I'm glad for them. It was they were both up for Defender of the Year, and obviously they split the vote. And then the third option, the guy from Vancouver, ended up winning that one. So at least
Okay.
they got recognized for as part of the best 11,
Yeah.
which is really nice for them.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have is about player salaries that they were reported. The one infographic was really telling. Uh,
It's
the Union, supporter shield winners, best record in MLS, third lowest salaries.
I know. I know. Yeah. Who was it that today someone sent out on our group channel about
Like
that
literally, like I
the
think the
infographic?
Union's total salary expenditure for the year was like $6 million. Messi made 20 million on his own directly from the club, not counting any sponsorships and
Yeah.
other stuff. Meaning Messi gets paid more than three times as much as the Philadelphia Union players in total get paid.
Is that
I,
true?
again, Messi makes what Messi earns, and
Base salary is 12 million. Jeez
who's
Louise.
this?
Messi's base
Oh, I thought it
salary
was
is
20. Okay.
it's 12, but with guaranteed compensation through whatever,
However
you
that's
know,
calculated.
yeah, it's just over 20 million.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost double the next player's salary in the league.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It is, I don't know if it taps into the Philly, working class kind of work ethic, just roll up your sleeves and just get to work. But it's just like, it's kind of awesome that our scrappy little team, you know, we do
Mm-hmm.
more with less,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, you can always the bad news bears. You can take your big salary player and go shove it up um, like we will play as a team. I mean, I'm
Yep.
not knocking these other teams and I'm not
Nope.
knocking them bringing in their big players. That's all part of the game, right? But it's just nice when it's we're a mission driven organization kind of.
Well, and you can see that like when a team has chemistry, when a team
Yeah.
connects, when the players are playing for each other,
Yeah.
they play beyond their normal abilities.
Yeah.
They're more effective
Yeah.
as a group and as they function. So yeah, and I'm not saying that those other teams don't have that esprit de corps, that chemistry
Nice.
between themselves, but it's clear that the Union are a special squad this season, that they
Yeah.
have bought in under Carnell, that they're playing as a team, that they're
Yeah.
getting more out of it, and they're willing to take the salaries they got, and they're very healthy
Yeah.
salaries by any stretch, but they're not as highly compensated as some of the other teams, and they're still making, they're still doing a fantastic job out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think it speaks to the character of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not knocking these other teams. I'm sure they're fine people, you know, Jordi Alba aside, but still,
Exactly.
you know,
No, Mr. Alba, I expect you to retire.
this is where we do the quick like swipe cut in areas like he's working at a soup kitchen right now, and I'm like, I'm just
Oh.
like, oh man, I'm such a jerk. Yeah.
Oh man. But no, it is great to see the Union connecting, competing, doing as well as they are,
Yeah.
and just got to hope that they continue that and continue to be effective. And now we're moving into this single elimination game, so every game is a final.
Buckle up, man. It's gonna get intense. Yeah,
We're at the
because
top of the hill. We're just waiting. We have no idea exactly when that's going to drop because it's either on the 22nd or 23rd. And then we're all in, baby.
oh man, gonna definitely have to like keep my eye on Christy because I know she's gonna be doing like it's gonna be a lot of squeaky bum time. Even for up by a goal or two, it's gonna be like 80th minute, and there's gonna be a lot of pacing.
She's going to be outside watching through the window. I just can't. I
Yeah,
just can't
I
even.
just can't. Yeah, she's
All
got to go
right.
light a candle somewhere or something.
All right. Well, we got 3 weeks to find some things to talk about. I'm sure that there will be some stuff that comes out with
Yeah.
the international windows. See how these teams do. Keep monitoring what's going on and looking forward to the next match. Whoever it is, whoever the next victim is for the Union.
Line them up.
All right. So if you want to follow us, you can definitely check out our website, amorephillyunion.com. Please send us any questions via email or on our socials, especially Instagram. We'll be sure to include them on the pod. If you do feel like emailing us, our email address is pod@amorephillyunion.com. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Bluesky at amorephillyunion. Also, be sure to check out our eclectic Spotify playlist, the soundtrack of Amorephillyunion,
Hmm.
and tune in, give it a listen. If you'd like to pick up some more Philly Union swag, check out our online store. You can find it on our website or at any of our socials. There's a link tree. You can definitely find the link there.
Yep.
Be sure to download and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. And while you're at it, go show some love to one of our favorite forces for good in the world, the Philadelphia Union Foundation. You can find them at philadelphiaunionfoundation.org. Thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of Amorephillyunion. We're your host. I'm Paul.
And on behalf of C, I'm E.
Go Union! Travel safe, C.
So it'll just play everything at 2x
How do you
speed.
normally edit it?
I just use my movie editor, and it just plays it at 1x.
Yeah.
So I literally have to listen to the podcast, pause, cut things out, keep going. So I listen to the whole podcast. So if we record for an hour, I have at least 1 hour of editing in front of me.
Wow.
It's because I used to try to take notes as we're recording.
Right.
It's impossible, because
Yep.
it's like, otherwise I'm going to be like, I'll lose the thread.
You're not going to be a part of the podcast if you do
Exactly. So I just let it,
But
now
you know,
what I've
depending on you who you ask might be a good thing or not. But